Close your eyes and picture the ultimate American celebration. Fireworks exploding over the National Mall, the smell of barbecue smoke, and the date July 4th plastered on everything from napkins to Old Navy t-shirts. Now, imagine John Adams, one of our most passionate founding fathers, looking down at these festivities and shaking his head in absolute confusion. To the men actually inside that stiflingly hot room in Philadelphia, we are all partying 2 days late. The true moment of American birth wasn't on the 4th. It happened on July 2nd, 1776. This was the day the Continental Congress actually voted in favor of Richard Henry Lee's resolution for independence. The room was tense, the air thick with humidity and treason, but when the vote passed, the delegates knew the world had changed. John Adams was so convinced that this was the big day, he immediately wrote a letter to his wife, Abigail. He predicted that July 2nd would be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival, marked with pomp, parades, bonfires, and illuminations from one end of the continent to the other. So what happened on July 4th? Honestly, it was mostly paperwork. After the thrill of the vote on the 2nd, Thomas Jefferson and the committee spent 2 days nitpicking and editing the wording of the official declaration document. On July 4th, they simply approved the final text. There was no grand signing ceremony that day either. Most delegates wouldn't actually sign the parchment until August 2nd, a full month later. The reason we celebrate the 4th comes down to a simple clerical detail. When the approved text was sent to the printer, John Dunlap, to be mass-produced for the public, he printed the date July 4th, 1776 at the top of the broadsides. These copies were dispatched by horseback across the 13 colonies. When the American people finally read the news, the date staring back at them wasn't the day of the vote or the day of the signing. It was the day of the printing. We celebrate the 4th not because it was the moment of freedom, but because it was the date on the flyer.